The New England Patriots went into Denver. The New England Patriots, y'all, went into Denver and defeated the Denver Broncos 10-7 in what turned out to be such a fun weather game.
Awesome.
Such a fun outdoor game. Not a lot of passing. Not honestly a lot of successful running either.
Great
not a lot
defense.
of offense. Great defense. Couple players I want to talk about and a couple plays that I think if they go a couple different ways, this game might have changed. Look at Kane coming in.
Drake May, kid!
I gotta pin that comment.
May.
I'll pin that comment, Kane. That's too good. You did it too many times to not keep that pinned up there. Drake May, kid. Man, what a crazy game. So, first and foremost, I want to give credit to the first drive from Jarrett Stidham. Came out and threw a couple really awkward balls. You could tell he wasn't in any rhythm. And then on that 3rd and 10, launched the ball deep, saw Marvin Mims.
It was the second drive. Yeah, they went 3 and out to start.
Right. But came out looking a little worried, looked a little timid. I thought it was really interesting, too, that Sean Payton came out immediately with 2 run plays. I would have loved to see him just come right out with a throw. Something like that with the backup quarterback. I thought, come just like put your foot on the gas pedal right as the beginning of the game starts. But no, you're right. They went 3 and out. When they got the ball back, it got to 3rd and 10, and Marvin Mims just hit the corner with a nasty one-step out, bang inside, and Jarrett Stidham connected, leading to the touchdown in the back right of the end zone to Cortland Sutton. Who would have thought that would be Denver's last and only points scored in this game after Stidham did that? I was very impressed with what I saw from the Broncos early on. I thought their offense was getting into a roll. I thought they were finally starting to, Stidham was making moves. Mims kept getting open. I saw Evan Ingram get involved a little bit in the passing game.
Oh, I know.
When I saw them getting the other guys, quote unquote, involved, I was like, okay, this is the recipe that Denver wants to come out and do. They knew they needed to establish the run against New England. They tried to. It obviously didn't work later in the game, which we'll talk about a little bit. But the one thing I was really impressed with was the response by New England right after the touchdown. They score Denver. There was a couple missed plays in there for Drake May. I thought he had a couple missed throws, just straight up missing guys. I thought he missed Pop Douglas on a couple easy ones. Ramondre Stevenson could not secure the ball at all.
Hufanga should have had an interception on one of the first passes of the game.
Easily. Oh my God.
Hufanga never misses.
That was like
either.
a 3rd and 4, I think, and it was cutting the slant route. Oh my God.
Stephon Diggs.
Threw it right here. I was shocked to see. Drake May kind of got lucky with that one, but.
On their own 27 yard, that was deep on the side of the field.
The play that I will say this game literally stemmed down to was 4th and 1, Denver's ball in the red zone.
While the weather was still manageable.
I believe they were within their own 25, 26 yard line. I think they were right around the red zone.
They were even closer.
And
they were in the red zone.
They not only do they come out looking like they're going to go for it, but then they have to call the timeout because they don't like the design or whatever. They didn't like what they saw. The play clock's running down. They come back out. Jarrett Stidham's under center. Gets the ball snapped to him. Does one of the worst, no offense. It felt like it literally looked like to me, it's just a backup quarterback running a play he's not super known for doing.
Yep.
Which was a play action that not one person believed that was going to be a run on the Patriots team. You could see immediately they knew there was no real play action in that play. I mean, I forget who the D tackle was for you. I think it was
Barmore.
I think it was Barmore.
Dude, they blew the lineup.
Blew right through the middle of the center. Got to Stidham. Mind you, the whole play was to try and hit RJ Harvey on that rollout. Harvey's absolutely double teamed, so he forces it into RJ Harvey. They could have gone up 10-0 in this game if they had taken the points. Now, I don't blame technically because what analytics tell you to go for it.
Oh, and analytics can get out of here.
And it is also Sean Payton.
They can get out of here.
In my opinion, wanting to go 14-0. But I completely agree. Get the points in a game against the Patriots. I was shocked to just see them not try and secure the points in that one. And then Patriots came right back after that.
Great play by Craig Woodson, too. Craig Woodson, we got rid of Jabril Peppers and Kyle Duggar in the beginning of the season. Two guys who got big contracts from the Patriots last year. And one of the big reasons they got rid of him is because they drafted Woodson, and he made a great play there, blowing it up. The problem with that play is, granted, you got to take the 3 points there. It shows you how dumb analytics is when it says on there, CBS Analytics says go for it or whatever the hell. It's like, dude, they don't take into anything. These analytics, just imagine it's football in 72-degree weather. They're kicking off turf, all this nonsense. You have to take the points with a backup quarterback there. It's not like you have Matthew Stafford or Patrick Mahomes right there. You have a backup quarterback who's played. He threw what? That was the first time throwing the ball since early 2024. And I know Sean Payton's aggressive. He's known. That's why he's going to probably end up in the Hall of Fame one day. But that was super, super aggressive. Like, you got to take the points there.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked to see them not want to go up 10-0.
Against a top-tier defense. The Patriots allowed 3 points against the Chargers.
Shocked.
16 against the Texans, and now 7. You got to get the points while you can get them.
Yeah, and Drake May came right down and answered.
Yeah. And don't even get me started about the non-call on the fumble. They ended up giving it to the Patriots. They said it wasn't a backwards pass. And I'm like, I watched all season this year, fast-forwarding a little to the fumble that Ponder should have been able to run in. I've watched all season a clear incomplete pass, and then some defensive tackle runs it 70 yards, wasted 40 seconds of every time, and they don't blow the whistle. Now they're deciding to blow the whistle at the Denver 12-yard line where the end zone's right there on an obvious backwards chest pass. I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
But like Allen Iverson said, ball don't lie. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, no, Stidham not only made probably the best throw of the day in that pass to Marvin Mims, but by far the worst play of the day was definitely that. He tried doing that many times in this game too. I kept seeing that two-handed shovel forward pass.
Well, he hit one of them one time.
He hit one of them, which was a good play, but he tried to do it one time on that rollout right that went right into the dirt, and I was just like, I kept seeing that. I was like, man, that's such a desperation.
I don't like when Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes does that, let alone
Jared Stidham.
Yeah.
No, completely agree. But man, yeah, they obviously the backwards pass leads to the fumble. Yeah, they don't let him run it in, but they end up getting the touchdown out of it. 248 yards and 206 yards of offense in the last 2 games, and in the Super Bowl. Weird concept, building a defense around a young QB instead of an offense.
No, hey, they're in the Super Bowl, Kane. Again, they're in the Super Bowl. A defensive head coach. Yeah, it's an unbelievably well coached team.
Unbelievable.
This coaching job is incredible.
I'm honestly not much happened to talk about in the second half. It kept turning into 3-and-outs and missed field goals, and
Mother Nature happened in the second half of this game.
It was so cool watching. Beginning of the halftime, you could see it starting to get a little snowy. You could see it's getting the wind's picking up.
Oh my God.
And then it was like 8 minutes to go. You could start. They showed the fans. You could finally really see the snow in front of the fans. 6 minutes to go. They go to cut to commercial timeout. They come back. The whole stadium's white. They come back. They're like,
nuts.
Look what happened in 3 minutes, guys. And I thought it was so funny to watch. Not just not even just Denver, but both teams try and kick field goals in that weather. They both were trying to do it. Denver tried kicking, what was it, like a couple 40-yarders.
Yeah.
I swear they kept trying to kick these.
Well, Lutz is a stud. Don't get me wrong.
100% Lutz is a stud, but man, 4 missed field goals in this game, 2 from Borregales, 2 from Lutz. Lutz didn't make one.
The big one was blocked by Leonard at the end by the Patriots.
Great block, by the way. Oh my God, I didn't realize it was blocked at first, and then they showed it, and I was wow, he really did get a tip on it.
Got 3 fingers on it. That's what. Because when Lutz kicked that last kick that would have tied the game in the fourth quarter, the wind was at his back. Now, I'm not saying it would have been an easy kick, but...
No, but the wind was behind him.
Everyone else was missing the kicks the other way. Kane, I said the same thing. I was on the phone with one of my buddies after the game. I said the same exact thing. Same exact thing. I know they're all kicking from 65 yards or anything. That was a game to kick in the other... That was a crazy game, dude.
And then,
crazy game.
Play of the game. 3rd and 6, last play. They got to get the first down. They want to get the first down to run the clock out and win the game. And Drake May, they call a run play in the huddle, an outside stretch run to the right. Josh McDaniels said that it was a run. Drake May said that it was a run. No one in the world other than Drake May knew he was keeping it. Drake May fakes the run, turns his back, runs to the left side, outruns the defensive end, gets the 6 yards. Yeah, I finally saw Drake May show any sort of emotion on the field. That was the first time I've ever seen him do something crazy like that. And the New England Patriots secured a 10-7 win to move on to the Super Bowl. I do want to ask, if you had to be as honest as possible, do you think that this game would have been different if Bo Nix was playing in it?
Yeah, but I don't know how different.
That's what I was trying to figure out where obviously probably the backwards situation football doesn't happen and stuff happens.
But I think Sean
with
Payton,
the weather, it's
who knows? You know what I mean? Sean Payton had I mean, also, Sean Payton used that second timeout, I thought, a little too early in the third quarter. Now, obviously, everyone's going to talk about the challenge where they ended up... By the way, the NFL is so terrible with the television presentation nowadays. First off, there's a massive call. There's a massive call where the Patriots go for it on 4th down. You're waiting to see. I hate when there's these massive challenges, and we don't find out who won the challenge until they go back from commercial, and then the team's snapping the ball. I want to see the referee say if the call is being upheld or being reversed. I want to see that. I don't want to see another commercial for the Big Bang Theory or whatever the hell's playing on CBS after the game. I just don't want to see it. Secondly, every time it snows, and they did the right thing, they put those stupid graphics on where it's like the giant white numbers, and then when people run through it, they're like see-through. And the Patriots were wearing all white uniforms. You could barely see them, and they turned it off. It's like, I don't need to know that they're on the 28-yard. You know what I mean? It was like, but they did the right thing and turned it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where it starts snowing, and then they put like computer numbers on the field. It's like, just let it be. You know what I mean?
It's okay. We know where they are.
But Sean Payton using that second timeout was huge. You know what I mean? I thought he used it a little too early. It was right on the last drive, and then Gonzalez with the interception where when
terrible
Nix
throw.
threw it. When Stidham threw it up, I was just like, oh my! You knew right away. Yeah. You're like, it has a chance to get it. To throw in that weather, and I know Denver has
not only a throw, but to throw a prayer
like
the
that.
Prayer.
Yeah.
That ball went more high than it did anything for like straight on.
And I know he beat him for a touchdown early in the game. Not the long play on the second drive of the game. He got by Gonzalez. You can't hope that happens twice against an all-pro player like Gonzalez. And then also the weather condition in the fourth quarter versus the first was totally different. Like you just. When you watch that play, you're like, yeah, of course this ball gets caught up in the wind. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's going to favor the defender there. It's not like you're throwing to Gronkowski or something. You know what I mean? Like, you're throwing to a wide receiver on the outside with an all-pro cornerback. So, yeah, I mean, the game, of course, it would have been different with Bo Nix. But, you know, that's part of the game. Guys don't play. You know what I mean? It's having Matt Collins back was huge, too. Stevenson, I know he didn't.
That's a good point, Kane. That play, though, was just great coaching. They subbed late, so
I
those guys just take their time to match this up.
I know. 100%. And well, that's where they burned a timeout, too, because Sean Payton used substitutions, and it was going to be a delay game as well, and then they had to snap it right there. Harbaugh did the same thing a couple weeks ago where Harbaugh was subbing off, and it's like, dude, the Patriots are going to take their sweet-ass time here getting off the field. They're going to get their guys in. But when you sub like that late and the play clock's running, it's like the officials, they have to grant it. You're 100% right. They were subbing late. That was a tough game for Sean Payton. It
was cool to see. I would have never imagined it, but like Matt Collins leading an AFC Championship team in receiving yards to go to the Super Bowl is just incredible. To think Matt Collins and Stephon Diggs, two guys who are members of the Buffalo Bills, a couple of years ago on all those runs, are the wide receiver 1 and 2 on this offense this game. Hunter Henry with a couple nice catches. As for Denver, I mean, yeah, they spread the ball around, but it was never really productive passing. Like, they never really got into any sort of rhythm, specifically in that second half.
It was the first big throw.
Yep.
They got it. They were running the ball, you know what I mean? Like, they were having success on the ground for what you could have there, but once the weather came in like that, it just totally, it just totally changed everything. But, when I listen to these communists out here who say, though, we got to be playing in neutral sites and all this nonsense, they both played outdoors. You know what I mean? That was in Denver's home. You know what I mean?
Also, if it was say it was reversed, it would have been worse conditions in New England.
Yeah. I know. Well, it also was in Denver's favor in the fourth quarter in the sense of the wind was at their back. Like, again, you saw when the Patriots got this. It was at the middle of the fourth quarter. It was like 8 minutes left, right before they gave Denver the ball back. By the way, the punter for the Broncos was phenomenal. He was amazing.
Even in the wind,
dude. He was just hitting the sideline every single time, unreturnable inside the 10-yard line. That was a great game by that guy. Crawshaw. Jeremy Crawshaw. He was like all rookie team this year. This guy was. That was amazing. That was something. I'm watching with all my buddies from New York. That was reminiscent in a way of totally different game, but Steve Weatherford, when he kicked against the Patriots in the second Super Bowl, I thought he should have been the MVP. The punting was phenomenal. Schooler was great on special teams with the Patriots, but when the Patriots had the ball, it was like 3rd and 8. They were on their side of the field, and Drake May just threw the ball away. He just rolled out.
Yeah,
it
looked like the play call. Yeah, the play call was to just run it.
And they did that to punt the ball out of their end zone. And then Denver got the ball back like the 37, but they couldn't do it. And then that's when the field goal got blocked. But there's nothing better than football in awful weather. I love football in nasty weather. I thought this was a great game.
Yeah, no, congrats. I mean, it's crazy to think after. I mean, I saw everyone saying, like, thank God we all prayed on the Chiefs' downfall, right, over the past couple of years so we could just get the Patriots right back in the Super Bowl in the AFC. Like, we've been, 3 years of complaining about Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs' dynasty and all this just for now the year that they removed it to Patriots.
There's no one left on this team that was on any of the Super Bowl teams. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a completely new team.
It's
new coach, new coaches.
I mean, it's like McDaniels is there, but he's different. Obnoxious gum chewing specialty. Oh, Danny, what's his name?
Danny Smith went to Tampa Bay. Yeah, that was a sad loss. But I'll tell you, there's a lot sadder of coaching news coming out of Pittsburgh right now that we'll talk about a little bit. But man, 10-7 win in an ugly third and fourth quarter with a bunch of missed field goals and a bunch of missed passes, and Jarrett Stidham trying to make the play at the end there by just throwing a Hail Mary up there. It felt like just a haymaker and fell right into Christian Gonzalez's hands, which made me happy too, because Gonzalez wasn't having a great game all day. I thought he was, not that he was having a bad game, but specifically early on, they were not targeting him. But it was cool that, it was funny because I heard the announcers talking about this a lot, that they were saying the defensive scheme with these top corners, with the Surtans of the world, with the Gonzalez's, is like, they'll stack one side, right? If they put 2 to 3 receivers on one side, you'll never see Surtan or Gonzalez on that side because they want them to be the one-on-one to completely eliminate half the field. Yeah. And I thought it was cool to see Sean Payton right in this game immediately come out and attack that one side to be like, we're not worried about it. We want to make sure that we're using the whole field. Because he immediately came out and was like when they got that big play to Mims, Mims was always, I felt like Gonzalez and Mims were on each other every single time. And Mims had a solid game, 4 for 62. He had a couple of solid little catches throughout the game.
62 yards on an all-pro corner is
it was 52 coming on one play is helpful, but exactly. Shout out to Sean Payton. I thought he coached. The game plan was what you kind of wanted it to be going into this one. There was just a couple plays that didn't go their way. Would have loved to see them kick that field goal on 4th and 1 instead of going for it. That could have tied this game up, because when they were going back and forth on these field goals, I just kept thinking to myself, like, man, all they needed was just if they had kicked that first field goal to make it go up 10-0 in this one, how different the game later and it could have looked if Borregales had missed a field goal, or the momentum switch, right, from Denver having the lead. Because just in that case, Denver would have had the lead at least into halftime. 10-0. Like, you got to have that 2-possession lead in a game against a team like New England.
At home. It's such a great stadium, like Mile High, in the fans. It's one of the loudest stadiums. You know what I mean? That's what upsets me when I find out they're moving from this stadium, is how loud it is. Their fans are incredible. And it was like, if they went up 10-0 right there, the place would have been going nuts. And it was like, it almost felt like the Patriots scored when they stopped them on 4th. Like, the momentum just, and then of course they go down the field. But Gonzalez with that sack on Stidham was huge too. Christian Gonzalez.
A couple of sacks in this game were awesome, by the way.
He steps up in the run game. He impresses me a lot, man. He's been such a great player.
And the more I watch Kalavion Chason play football, the more I'm like, man, he's just earning himself more and more money.
He's
an unrestricted,
bag,
right? So he is getting money.
He's a one-year deal this year. I mean, put it this way, he was a first-round pick who never really got it. Jacksonville didn't extend him. It didn't work out there. He's going to get paid like a former first-round pick this offseason. He's been so good.
Yep. Spillane, I think, went down with the injury.
He came back in, though.
Yeah, but he came back here. D tackles, like, oh, my God, I saw the clip of, I think it was Tonga on the side just flexing and stuff. That was really fun to watch. Super good game for the Patriots all around.
Mate Mapu had a great game. He was coming back he was so banged up against Houston. He came in. He's our punt protector. You know what I mean? You saw how loud it was. Mapu was snapping the ball by giving the center the sign. It was like he was going down and then taking blocks, playing. No one's 100% now. We're going into February this week. It's the Super Bowl. No one's 100%. I don't care who you are. But Mapu is incredible. Like, that game was like special teams, coaching. I mean, obviously Vrabel and Drake May and McDaniels. Like, man, what a turnaround for the Patriots. I was so mad at Kraft the way, like, he made Belichick seem like he did nothing and then bring Mayo in. But to just right the ship and go out and get Mike Vrabel. And how about the Titans just letting this guy go? Oh, my God, man. Oh, my God.
not only letting him go, but trading A.J. Brown, letting Derrick Henry walk away. I mean, what great organizational management over there, right? I thought it was fun to watch. I was watching a lot of the Denver Broncos post-game interviews with the players and stuff just to see what they had to say. I will say, if you're Denver, what an incredible season.
Oh, my God.
What an incredible season if you're Denver. To get even this close with your backup quarterback within 3 points, within 1/4 and 1 of kicking the field goal. The way that all year long they just kept finding ways to win in such different ways. I think back to that 33-point unanswered or whatever it was against the Giants in the fourth quarter, and they kind of had that, everyone talked about the Chiefs' voodoo magic a year ago. The Broncos had that voodoo magic this year, and they kept doing it. I would have loved, the more I was watching this game, though, the more I kept thinking to myself, man, I wish this was Josh Allen versus Drake May. I kept watching this game just thinking when the snow hit, I would have loved to see this be a Buffalo-New England snow game.
Especially, did you see when they showed Mile High when it started snowing, and then they showed what Gillette Stadium looked like at the same time? I mean, it would have been an absolute mess if that game was in Foxborough.
Yeah, no, I mean, before the game in Foxborough was way worse than before the game in Denver. So
Killer. This part of the country got slammed.
But man, the New England Patriots just
with a win in the playoffs in Denver. I seen them lose to Jake Plummer there when we were going for 3 in a row. The 2013 one I didn't mind as much because the Hernandez thing happened and that Denver team was much better. But the 2015 still haunts me. You know what I mean? There's some bad regular season losses in Denver too. I was so happy to see them win in Denver. And again, real quick about the Broncos. I mean, they came into this season a little similar. Now, granted, they made the playoffs last year. They made the playoffs last year with a rookie quarterback, which was a big
loss to Buffalo, obviously, but
they won 14 games now with their second-year quarterback. So, if you're the Broncos going forward, you are feeling very good. Now, this is a tough loss for them. That Sean Payton fourth down is going to stick with them, all that stuff. But they got to feel super, super good.
Good to see you.
What's going on?
Dude,
we got some hit parade out here today? Yeah. Hell yeah. I like the hit parade hat.
Yeah, it's a nice hat.
We're going to get some to rock on stream? Yeah, get some down here. That's a nice hat.
Man, yeah. I watched Nick Bonito. Nick Bonito was just sitting there the entire time, just saying we're the better team. And I do agree. I think on a different day, I think this game could have been flipped if a couple situational football plays go differently. But
absolutely. But it didn't. That's football. It's one game. That's why you take these analytic things. They're like, oh well, it's the best of what happens through 10,000 games. We ain't playing 10,000 times. We're playing once. You know what I mean? We're playing once.
And then we got to move on to the afternoon game, where we watched two quarterbacks both throw over 350 yards and 3 touchdowns with no turnovers.
Another great game.
Incredible game this turned out to be. 31-27 win for the Seattle Seahawks over the LA Rams. Who would have thought, by the way, that going into the fourth quarter, 0 points scored in the fourth quarter after we watched 14 points scored for both teams. Defense stepped up in the fourth quarter. A couple plays and people I want to talk about in this one. First and foremost, was so impressed with what I saw from the run game that the Seahawks specifically established early on. Obviously, no Zach Charbonnet has been a big thing because George Holani had to come in. George Holani's I don't know. I'm not a big George Holani guy, right? I just thought he was weird whenever he had the ball in his hands. He just didn't look right. But man, Kenneth Walker. I mean, he has a couple of these plays where you're like, you think he's going down, he stays up. He looks like he's bundled in like a pile, and he just gets out. It is impressive.
Yep.
So first and foremost, Kenneth Walker starting out with the first touchdown. I was very impressed with Seattle's first drive, coming right down and just taking over the first drive of this game. But man, the two players you have to talk about more than anyone in this game are the Offensive Player of the Year candidates, right?
Yep.
Puka Nacua versus JSN was just incredible. It's all you could ask for from the best 2 receivers in the NFL this season. Pick your poison on which one you want because JSN is
no wrong answer.
JSN is probably the smoothest route runner I've ever seen. He's got some of the most secure hands. He's smooth with the ball in it. I mean, he is. The connection he's built with Sam Darnold is incredible. I was so impressed watching JSN. I thought it was really fun too to watch JSN and Puka. They both dominated in such different ways in this game. Like the statistics look very similar. But JSN was doing it all by finding the openings in the Rams zone.
He dances.
Sitting down.
Yeah,
he sits down in the zone. He finds the space. Darnold hits him so fast. Meanwhile, Puka's like so physical. Yeah, running into people physical. He's high-pointing these balls. I mean, it was so impressive to see what I saw from both of them, and their skill sets are just so good. Man, I continued thinking we got to talk about the main play of this one was, 4th and 12. Tariq Woolen gets a big stop on Puka Nacua, walks over to the Rams sideline, points at whatever Sean McVay or whatever it was, gets the taunting play. One play later, Puka hits him on a little give and go, hits him, and just scores the touchdown to make this game 26-31. And they kicked the extra point. And I kept sitting back in that fourth quarter and thinking to myself, man, how badly the Rams would have wanted that to be a 3-point game in the fourth quarter, because they had multiple chances to kick a field goal in that fourth quarter to tie this game, but they kept going for it on 4th down because they needed the touchdown late in the game. Stafford has an incredible drive. I believe they started at their own 10-yard line. It started with like a Blake Corum 10-yard run and then a Blake Corum dump off, and then Devontae Adams makes a couple crazy plays, and they drive all the way down the field. They get to, I think it was a 3rd and 4. Then he forced it to both his tight ends that neither of them were really open. I think Higbee on the first one was not open, or Parkinson, and then he tried to force it to Terrence Ferguson with the game on the line, 4th and 4, who was getting kind of smothered in the middle of the field by Devon Witherspoon. That's not really a recipe for success, but yeah, great player Witherspoon is. Tariq Woolen almost cost them the game, but they kicked the extra point to only go down by 4, and the Rams needed a touchdown after that, so they played very aggressive, continued going for it on 4th downs. Seeing this, yes sir,
ASAL, baby! One more, baby! One
what
more!
What up, ASAL? Crazy.
One more!
But man, it was like, just such a great game overall. Sam Darnold making some incredible passes on the run.
How about old reliable Cooper Kupp, too, with that touchdown at the end?
How about Rashid Shaheed breaking that one down the right sideline? That was awesome.
I think the biggest play, though, the biggest play is the fumble on the punt, though, where the kid
not
fell
only
down
that one,
and then it hit him.
They should have fumbled the first. He should have been
the one where he caught it after he fumbled it.
Should have been that should have been a fumble. And then man, he's like he's falling to the ground trying to catch it on the ground.
Bang! You knew right away. You're like
Xavier Smith, I think his name is.
Xavier Smith, right there at the bottom.
That was an unfortunate play. That led to the touchdown.
I mean,
I think that led to the Jake. That was the one play Jake Bobo touchdown. I think he fumbled.
Well, and that was the
Jake
only
Bobo.
turnover of this game, correct?
Yeah,
that was the only
one lost. Yeah.
No interceptions. That was the only turnover of the game, and that's what happens. McVay was pissed afterwards.
McVay was pissed. You could see it. Man, Sam Darnold completely changes the narrative around his name that he can't perform in big games, specifically also against his kryptonite, the LA Rams, where I believe he's had 6 turnovers in the past 2 games against the Rams, including obviously the 4 in the first loss. He had 2 in the close win. Sam Darnold comes out 25 of 36, 346 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I was so impressed, too, with how he was moving in the pocket. I thought that they kept throwing different looks at him. I think things will get spooky for Darnold against the Pats.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we'll see. I mean, he's a much different player now than we were beating on him in the Meadowlands, though. He's a much different player now. But, I mean, what a great Super Bowl for Jets fans, huh? You get to see the Patriots taking on Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl.
It was...
Joy of them.
The more I watched this game, too, I kept thinking to myself the whole time, like, I was saying this to my dad, you can just see the difference that the coaches that have been around Sam Darnold have made over the past couple of years. You could really see it all come to fruition in this game because he's standing tall in the pocket. I mean, his first read's not there. He's immediately moving to his next read, immediately moving to the check down. Dude has his like Kubiak and him have this offense so down pat that it's like when Chris Shula is out there running zone defense against JSN and Cooper Kupp, who are the perfect guys to be like, hey, go sit down in the zone. Go find the little opening. Because Cooper Kupp, yeah, he had the, 13-yard touchdown. That was a great play, by the way, to get himself in. Probably the most controversial catch of the day, too, if was that leaning forward. They called it a first down and a catch on the play. And then I've seen a lot of Rams fans and even Niners fans on social media saying stuff about that catch, not retaining the ball to the ground. Ball never hit the ground. So then it's, the conversation of does the ground force cause an incompletion? Does his body cause an incompletion? It's like, man, so crazy. I was just so impressed with Sam Darnold all day. He's a big quarterback. He looks around. Sam Darnold is going to the Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl playing quarterback. That is crazy. And as for Matthew Stafford, this should not at all be a knock on Stafford or his career or his Hall of Fame thing. I saw Dan Orlovsky on social media talking about the fact, Stafford is a top 10 to 15 quarterback of all time. just appreciate Stafford for what he's doing at this point in his career. For him to come out, for him to be rumored to be injured with the back injuries all offseason, to have the most passing yards in the season this year, the most passing touchdowns in the year.
He did have injuries.
Great
in training camp.
Great couple, great wild card game. He had to go into Carolina and win that game. I mean, to go to Seattle and have the performance that he had against the Mike Macdonald defense, which
was great.
No one's been able to have this kind of efficiency game against that Mike Macdonald defense. No one can. The biggest thing was up until the last couple drives, they never got a run game going. There was no balance between Stafford and the run game, because you could see McVay very, very quickly was like, we're just going to go to passing. We're putting the ball in Stafford's hands every time. And mind you, I would do the same thing, right? I'd put the ball in Stafford's hands and say, look towards Puka and Devontae Adams every time, because most of the time they are going to catch it. The problem was on the most two crucial plays of this game was 3rd and 4 and 4th and 4 for the Rams. He didn't look at Puka's way once. He didn't look at Adams' way once. And I kept thinking to myself, man, I wonder if he'll want those couple of throws back to just, give those receivers that have been so great all year, with Adams leading the league in touchdowns and Puka being the most efficient on a per-game basis wide receiver this season. I was so impressed with watching the Rams. I know that, the Xavier Smith fumble definitely costed them this one. But they've got the best coach in football, in my opinion. I hate to say, I think Sean McVay really is the best offensive-minded coach.
He's awesome.
He's such a leader. He's so
awesome.
good. You can tell the players love him. And then we got to talk about, probably the best in-season acquisition this season. Rashid Shaheed now has had a moment in every single game they've played since he's been there. I mean, whether it's a kickoff return in the regular season, a kickoff return against the Niners, a big catch in this one where, early in the game they spread the offense, they sent him deep, and he beat his man easy. I really believe that we're going to see something with Rashid Shaheed in the Super Bowl, because I've seen it every time. There's just no way that a team I don't know if everyone else can't do it. I don't see why the Patriots are able to just stop this big play from happening. But man, great game for Seattle. Great battle of coaching between McDonald, McVay. So fun to watch the two of them. Kenneth Walker gets in the end zone. JSN in the end zone. Kupp in the end zone. Jake Bobo with his 4th catch of the season. Gets the touchdown right after the fumble. Marcus Jones.
That's right. And Brendan Schooler. Schooler was incredible the other day, and he's going to have his hands full with Shaheed. I can't wait.
Incredible.
Schooler with those tackles the other day were awesome.
And then if we're talking about the defensive side of the ball, I can't talk about this game anymore without bringing up the name Nicky Manwari. Man is everywhere. God. I mean, it's funny because I saw a tweet that was like, Mike Macdonald got the head coaching job in Seattle and said, oh no, we don't have Kyle Hamilton. Let's get ourselves a Kyle Hamilton because he is so good. He's a mix of everything you would want, specifically in that nickel. He reminds me so much of Derwin James. Every time I watch this guy play, I'm like, man, he's fast. He's good blitzer. He's good at faking the blitz and popping out. He's a good wrap-up tackler in the open field. You can tell he's a good communicator. Obviously, the moment happened with him and Tariq Woolen, but that's such a as a rookie to go up to your player and have that moment with Tariq Woolen after he has the play and then lets up the touchdown. I thought that was you don't see rookies like that ever have that kind of holding a guy accountable. I know a lot of people are gonna look at that and be like, oh, Reek's pissed, whatever. I loved it. I thought it was a great play.
Yeah.
I thought the cornerbacks did not have a great game for the LA Rams. I thought the corners could have played better, but at the same time, they played zone coverage the whole day. So if you're going to be told to, play your zone majority of the day, why is I don't think that's the game plan against a guy like JSN, against these guys like Cooper Kupp. They're too experienced and too good at finding the space with their quick movement to play that elusive zone coverage. I would have loved to see them press up a little bit, get a little bit more aggressive with them at the line of scrimmage, and then back off into it.
It was tough. It was tough when you look at,
Appreciate that ball, Noah.
I understand,
but man,
it's easy to say afterwards, but when you have the pass rush with Turner and Verse and stuff up there, I understand where they're coming from, and I mean it worked. They could have won those 2 games against the Seahawks in the regular. I mean they could have won the other day. Yeah, on Sunday they could have won. So it's tough. You know what I mean? It's tough, but hey, I like it. I go, these past few years, it seems everyone just wants offensive head coach, and I understand, but look at the Super Bowl. We got Mike Vrabel and Mike Macdonald, 2 defensive coordinators turned head coach. So
2 defensive coordinators. Welcome. What up, Shaken? Not Sir 518. How are you doing, Shaken? Happy you had a good weekend, my friend.
Shaking, what up?
But man, we are gonna watch a rematch of 2015. Rematch of 2015
Super
was it?
Bowl 49.
Seahawks, Rams.
Super Bowl 49.
Rematch. Let's see if the Kenneth Walker gets a touch from the 2-yard line, or if they try to throw it to
Listen,
Jake Bobo.
I'll defend Pete Carroll on that. It wasn't the wrong play. It wasn't the wrong move right there to throw the ball. I'll defend. We should probably go over that whole thing before next Sunday. I want to do some
we should
sort
do
of
a whole
video on it.
recap of
because
the
it's
game
one
and
of those
everything.
things that last series, that Patriots Seahawks, that last series with Seattle had the ball. You could talk about for hours based off what was going on.
But man, what a incredible game.
Two great games on Championship Sunday. Two great games.
For such different ways too. I thought like the coaching battles, McVay, McDermott, and then
Drake May.
and then even
What
then
are you doing,
like,
getting it graded?
Vrabel and Sean Payton. Awesome.
Oh, you don't want this? Oh, I appreciate it, brother. Oh, look at this.
Look at that,
May.
y'all.
Oh, I appreciate it, amigo.
Drake May. Hey, that's gonna be our recap of the championship games. Seattle versus the Patriots is our Super Bowl.